Yahoo! Marina here! Would you like to experience shopping in Japan with a fashion stylist? We can go to affordable brands like Uniqlo, Muji, GU, or select shops, which are stores that sells various brands, each with their own concept and aesthetic. We can even go to luxury brands if you want to. In order to find what suits you the best, we use a method based on bone structure, color, and face analysis. So if you want to know more about it, please check the description box down below. Now let's start our video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to do your makeup depending on which season you are. So as I mentioned in a different video, we have cool tones, which include summer and winter, and we have warm tones, which include spring and autumn. So a lot of makeup brands nowadays, they will put on their website, oh, this is for people with warm undertones, this is for people with cool undertones. There's usually some neutral in the middle, but it is important to know, so this is the base, right? So you need to know if you're a cool or a warm. And then from there, it is very important to know if you're summer or winter or spring or autumn, right? So people in the summer type, they look better with low contrast makeup. But what does that mean? So for example, if you have a bold red lip and a black smoky eye, there is a lot of contrast happening in your face, right? A lot of colors and a lot of saturation. So for people in the summer type, they look better with low contrast, meaning that we don't want that kind of difference, that kind of saturation. So you want to have lighter colors that match each other overall. We want the lowest contrast possible. So for example, if you're a summer, you are good with cool tones, right? So maybe a light pink, for example, a light pink in the lips, and then you would have maybe some light gray eyeshadow could look very nice, and a very subtle gray or perhaps a very light blue. Pale colors could look very nice, and especially for mascaras. Now we have a lot of colors of mascara, right? So maybe you could try a gray mascara, which is gonna lower the contrast in your face. Because, for example, even if you put a lot of low contrast colors overall and then you put a black mascara, it could be way too strong for some people. So maybe trying a gray mascara could be nice. So let's say you know you are a cool tone, but you're not sure if you're a summer or a winter. So a good hint to understand more about your type is, for example, when you try very strong makeup, does it look good on you or is it overpowering? So when you put a red lip and a smoky eye, does it feel way too strong, way too makeup-y, or does it feel good? So I think that's a good way to understand more about your color. So for example, we can look at this picture and this one. So which one does it feel more balanced? So of course, Taylor Swift looks beautiful in any makeup, but we want to see which one fits her features the best. So on the right, we have the blue eyeshadow and the red lip. So although the makeup is beautiful, it looks a little bit overpowering for her, right? So it looks more makeup-y, like she put a lot of effort into it. But in the picture on the left, we can see that it looks more smooth overall, right? Like the makeup is just blending into her features. So Taylor is probably a spring. That's why the blue eyeshadow and the red lip look way too cool for her and way too strong. Whereas in the left picture, we can see that she has some orangey, browny eyeshadow and a more coral pink lip. And the warm tones in the eyeshadow makes her eyes pop. So because she is a spring, we know she needs some kind of contrast, which we have here, right? The eyeshadow is strong and very defined, and the lip is more subtle. But the cool tones in the right picture seems a little disconnect to her face and other features. Of course, makeup is a way of self-expression, so you can wear any makeup you want to. This is just to help people that are not sure about what fits them. So think about it as just a guideline. So now let's take a look at Anne Hathaway's makeup looks. So Anne is a winter, and she probably knows that because she's always wearing a black eyeliner, black mascara. So we can tell that she really wants to keep that contrast. So on the picture in the right side, we can tell that she's wearing a black eyeliner and black mascara as usual. And she has a very light nude pink lip, which looks good on her because she needs that contrast. but it's not her best look. As on the picture in the left, we can see that she has a brighter lip and her complexion overall looks brighter, looks healthier. So in the eyes, she's not wearing anything super smoky, super black, but the mascara really pops. And because of that, her cheeks, the blush, everything looks more cohesive. And the lip color really suits her. So it's this kind of subtle mauvey color. Even though she looks beautiful in both pictures, in the picture on the left, she looks brighter, healthier, and it looks more effortless because it goes with her features overall. So when the color is not matching your face, you feel like something's off. Even if you don't know exactly what it is, you feel like something is off, like something is not working. And if you're a summer, you may be feeling that because you know you're a cool tone, but then when you try black, for example, it feels like way too much for you. So try going for gray or more subtle colors. So now let's move on to the other spectrum of the cool tone. So we talked about summer and now we have winter. So if for summer types, we want a low contrast, for winter types, we want a higher contrast. So for people in the winter season, bold colors look very, very nice. So bold lip, bold eyes, bold cheeks, blushes, everything looks good. So people in the winter palette, they already have a high contrast usually. So their hair color, their eyebrows, eyelashes, everything feels contrasting. They even have some natural blushing to their cheeks. That's why usually even when they are not wearing makeup, they still look very healthy. So when they do wear makeup, it's better if we try to mimic those features. And of course, because they are cool tones, purples, reds look very nice. And of course, for winter types, black is their best friend. So for winter types, I would recommend black mascara, of course, and all types of purples, mauve, berries. And even for winter types, you can do a more monochromatic look if you want to, as long as you keep a high contrast. So if you are a summer and you want to do a monochromatic purple look, for example, I would say go for a lilac and more pastel colors. So now moving on to warm tones. So in warm tones, we have two seasons, right? We have spring and autumn. And here we have the same differences as I mentioned before, with low contrast and high contrast. So for spring, we want a higher contrast, and for autumn, we want a lower contrast. So for cool tones, the base was blue, right? That's why they look good in purples, grays. But here we have warm tones, so the base is yellow. So they tend to look good in browns and oranges. So for people in the spring season, we want to have some kind of contrast using those browns, right? So for example, you could do a green eyeshadow with a dark chocolate mascara and maybe brown lips. That would look really nice. So same as I mentioned for winter type, even if you want to do a more monochromatic look, don't forget to put some kind of contrast. As for people in the autumn palette, it's very similar to summer, but here in warm tones, right? So an all brown look would look very nice, similar to latte makeup or maybe mocha makeup. And of course, depending on your bone structure and skin type, the kind of finish that suits you will change. So we need to analyze you to see if a matte or a glow finish fits you the best. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Janet!